The International Newsnet World Report is a national television news show available in more than 30 million homes. We broadcast daily real news the networks won't tell you. We are solely viewer-supported. That means you. You can donate at our website, inenworldreport.net. We hope you find the following interview informative and helpful.
What would be the effect of the European Union and the world if the Scottish Parliament were to use its newfound independence to rid Scotland and England of nuclear weapons? In order to achieve this, the Scottish National Party, which controls the Parliament, has asked legal expert John Mayer to write a new law to do just that. John is Greenpeace's legal counsel and also an advocate in Scotland's Supreme Court. He now joins us in the INN studio. Welcome, John Mayer.
Hey, great to be here, Lenny. Thank you.
John, how did this come about?
Well, Lenny, the Scottish people have for a very long time been demanding their own parliament. And the Westminster government in the House of Commons in London eventually had to respond. And in 2000 we got our own parliament, which controls about 85% of our affairs. The remaining 15% is things like the nuclear weapons, international treaties, the UN, stuff like that. But when the Parliament began, it was the Scottish version of Tony Blair's Labour Party which controlled it. And they did so for 2 general elections. But then, in May last year, an extraordinary thing happened. At the general election, the people of Scotland decided to vote Scottish National Party. That's like Scottish Independence Party. The 2 main objectives of the Scottish National Party are independence from Scotland and to get rid of nuclear weapons. Any poll you care to mention, the BBC, Gallup, any poll you care to take in Scotland will show that about 65 to 75% of people in Scotland oppose nuclear weapons and vehemently oppose nuclear weapons. They have no place in a 21st century peace-loving country such as Scotland. So, the Scottish Independence Party had front and centre at the general election what they stood for: independence from England and get rid of nuclear weapons. So, both are ongoing. One of the first things that the Scottish government did after being elected was to hold a summit. There were doctors who had worked on nuclear research. There were politicians from the UN, a variety of people, including me.
You've had a role for some time in Scotland's government, and you go back ways. You were asked to attend. What is your background, why you would get this invitation?
Well, I am a well-known anti-nuclear activist. I may not look like one, but I am. I tend to focus on international law. I, of course, as you know, am the first lawyer in the world to have had nuclear weapons ruled illegal by a court. I did that in the case of the Trident III back in 2001. That's a model which has been copied in various countries around the world. And now the Scottish government, or one member of the party who is the sponsor, has asked me to write a new law which would outlaw, make a crime, a particular crime in Scotland, to use or to even threaten to use nuclear submarines. So I have had the pleasure of writing this law, which makes it a crime, punishable by 25 years to life in jail for actually using the nuclear weapon, to be reported to the International Criminal Court in The Hague. And the main thing is, even to threaten to use a nuclear weapon would be illegal under our law.
They're docking in Scottish waters off the coast of Scotland.
Yeah.
And their purpose there is to refuel and to be certified again, or to be allowed to continue on?
There are 4 British thermonuclear submarines, and they carry live American warheads. They are situated in the beautiful West Highlands of Scotland, and incidentally, that's the only place in the whole of the United Kingdom where they can dock, because the waters are so deep. The canyons allow them to come in from the Atlantic. Big point is, if we get rid of nuclear weapons from Scotland, then there is nowhere in England where they can be accommodated. And that means, we call these submarines Trident. A Trident-free Scotland is a Trident-free Britain. Now, it's only, we only have 4 submarines. The Americans have hundreds. But as the newest parliament in the world, what a message to the world. The first act is to write a law and get rid of nuclear weapons, making Britain a nuclear weapons-free zone.
John, in the United States, if Missouri passes a law and then the federal government passes a law or decides that that law is not applicable because of federal statutes, that law will be